All right. Yeah. Today, anyways. Yes, sir.
Okay, our Coors Light pole winner for tomorrow night's third annual Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts NASCAR Sprint Cup Series event here at Kentucky Speedway is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He smashes the track record with a time or a speed of 183.636 mile per hour, driving that number 88 National Guard Youth Foundation Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Congratulations, Dale. What a lap you threw out there tonight. And you know, talk about this racetrack. I mean, you've been here a few years now, and you know, the cars were flying around out there. And just talk about maybe how this racetrack is handling, and how you think that 88 car is going to do tomorrow night.
Well, I think we got great speed and we're real competitive. Worked on some things in practice and found what we think the car likes and what the cars are going to want as far as our wedge trace and the balance of the car. But I like the track. It's got a lot of age on the asphalt, which we like, and we riding out the groove in the corners, which as a driver you like. You can run the bottom, the top. You have a lot of different options. You're not really limited and restricted as to where you can run in the corners. And we don't really mind the bumps in the corners. It just kind of adds character when they're not very severe. But there's some pretty bad bumps on front straightaway that aren't a ton of fun. But you know, they don't really affect how the car drives. You just kind of go through them. But I enjoy the track. I think it's a great area, and we got a lot of fans here, and it's a fun track to run on and race on, and we thought we had a top 5 car in practice, and we got some good cloud cover, about 6 or 7 cars in front of us before we went to qualify, and that brought the track temp down to give us a good advantage, give us an opportunity to run a bit quicker lap than maybe what the car had in it. And Steve Steve Letard and Kevin Meandrin and the team, you know, put a good car out there that rolled the center and turned really well and actually went through 3 and 4 very good. So I thought, looking at the wedge, you know, looking at the trace or on NASCAR.com, it seemed like we got through 3 and 4 better than most. And in between the last practice and qualifying, I got my hair cut at Great Clips, and I think that might have had something to do with it too. So I don't mind letting that secret out of the bag because they're one of my sponsors.
Absolutely. You do it. You set a track record. You can say whatever you need to say.
Well, I really did.
I know.
It really happened. So
good.
I was a little lazy this week. Been a few weeks since I had my hair cut, so luckily somebody from Great Clips was here that could get the job done.
Looks good.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take questions now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Reed Spencer, you can start off for us. If we could get Reed the microphone, please.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Carl said that in his estimation, you ran a perfect lap. I wanted to know if you felt that way too, and did you feel like the cloud was a real difference maker?
Well, I think that the cloud cover at least, you know, gave us a bit of speed. You know, but it's hard to say. Of course, the cooler track temps gives the car more grip, and I would admit that I think we definitely had the better situation of anyone in practice with that scenario. There was some clouds that came in later in the qualifying session, but not quite the extent that what we had. And I did think the lap was really good. I got into turn 1 a little bit overzealous, but the car actually was working a little bit better as far as turning through the middle than it had in practice, and that was able to keep the lap relatively competitive in 1 and 2, even though I overdrove the car getting into turn 1 a little bit. 3 and 4 was just a real good corner, and I think we did everything we could do down there. But if anything, we left we could have backed up turn 1 and maybe run a little bit better down the back straightaway.
Let's go Bob and then over to Jeff.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. What does this mean for tomorrow? It looked like as far as the 10-lap averages that they're kind of much slower, and I assume you have pretty quick tire wear off here.
Well, the tire wear, I mean, the fall off's not very big. Seems like there's not a lot of fall off in lap time throughout the runs, and there wasn't last year, and there wasn't in the truck race. But the track gets a lot freer as it gets cooler, so we'll anticipate that. And we'll look over our notes tonight and look at everything we did in practice, because we did a bunch of different scenarios as far as how we thought the car might want to work, and we found some things that we liked, and we can go over those notes and look at that, and we really got to guess on how tight we think the car needs to be, or because the car definitely is going to free up as it gets cooler and cooler. Just I really basically didn't change much in my car from practice to qualifying, and it turned quite a bit better. So I know, by the time the race starts and halfway into the race, it's going to keep freeing up just like it did in the truck race last night. So, and we had that in our notes from last year, that this place really gets freer as you get on deeper into the event. So we just hope we make the right calls. Everybody in the garage area has got to try to guesstimate and make the right assumption on what they think the track's going to do and how much to push that button. But I think we got a good idea. So I feel pretty confident, pretty good that we got good speed. And I think if we do, I think we're making the right choice on what we're going to do. What we've talked about doing for our balance in the car and the setup we're going to put in it.
Jeff?
Jeff Glove from USA Today. Clint Boyer said something like, you got a thundercloud and he was stuck out in the desert, or something like that. Can you relate to the dudes who were out there and they're jealous of the clouds that you got?
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there, and the cloud, he got some shade on his lap. I was watching because I heard him say that, but he had some shade and he wasn't able to produce. But I'm just saying, he had a tough lap. But I was watching him in practice, and I didn't know that he was, just looking from the lap times, I would guess he probably wasn't very pleased with his car in the first place. But I was sitting on pit road before we were about to go out, and there had been about 6 or 7 cars go before me that had cloud cover, and I'm just thinking in my mind, the track temp's coming down more and more and more. If we don't get any sun, it's going to continue to come down, and the track's going to get more speed, and I can drive it deeper into the corner, and going to be able to depend on the right rear tire to hook up off the corner. I'm just going to really have a good opportunity here. And for some reason this year, I don't know why they do it, but they delay the cars. There's a bigger delay between cars, and I really don't know why, but I suppose it has something to do with the television broadcast. But there's a huge delay, it feels like, when you're sitting in a car. You're like, come on, let's go. And, you wait what seems like, 2 minutes waiting to go, waiting for them to tap the hood. And I was just hoping that the sun didn't come out while all this was going on. And luckily enough, the cloud cover was pretty heavy when we got out there. But I think it has a big difference, makes a big difference.
Got time maybe for one more? Any more questions? Claire, finish it up for us.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Any idea how good your car is right now? Because we still have practice. And I don't know how you feel about the race car right now, but a lot of people be asking about that.
How I feel about the car in the race? Yeah, I think I feel pretty good about it. I thought we had, like I said, we tried several different scenarios as far as completely different setups, and went through a lot of different stuff in practice, and feel like we understand what the car is asking for and what's going to make the car competitive. And we went in that direction for qualifying, and actually, you see, we did rather well in qualifying. So I think we're going making the right decisions for what we want to put in our car. It's a little bit different than our teammates, but we think that's what our car is asking for, and that's what we have had success with here in the past. And so we're leaning on some notes from last year, and hopefully we made the right choice. We got a long race to sort it out. If we start off and the balance is a little bit off, I feel like that Steve's a good enough crew chief that make the adjustments that'll get us going and get the speed in the car what we need to be able to run well. All right, thanks, guys. I just went normal like I always do, I guess. I just told her to put number 4 on the sides.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, Dale. See you. Congratulations.